You know that nagging voice in your head? That one that whispers, like, who the hell do you think you are? It often shows up right before you're about to take a leap, do something new and exciting or different. You know the one. I know you do because we all have it. But here's the thing that most people don't realize. You're probably feeding that voice in ways that make it louder, stronger, and way more convincing than it ever needs to be. And science? Well, science has some fascinating things to say about why we do this, and more importantly, how to stop. So let's talk about the biggest self doubt mistakes that are keeping you stuck. Mistake number one is the I can't trap. Now, this one is sneaky because it feels so true. You tell yourself, I just can't speak in public, or I'm not good with money, I'm never gonna find love. And then, surprise, surprise, you don't do the things that would actually prove you wrong. So here's the science. Your brain literally builds these little neural pathways around that belief. Every time you think, I can't, you carve that groove even deeper. It becomes automatic, like a mental highway that keeps you stuck inside limitation land. But here's the plot twist: you can build new highways. Yes, neuroplasticity shows us that your brain is highly adaptable and you can always pave a new route. Mistake number two is the perfectionist prison. Now, perfectionism masquerades as excellence, but it's actually fear in disguise. So you set these impossibly high standards, and when you inevitably fall short, you take it as proof that you're not enough. And guess what happens? You procrastinate and you overthink and you wait for this perfect moment that never comes. Newsflash, the perfect moment is right now. It is in this messy, imperfect, beautifully human here and now. Mistake number three is the natural genius trap. Now, this one hits you high achievers the hardest. So, if things came really easily for you as a kid, you might have learned that struggle equals stupidity or that you're not capable of it. So, the second something actually requires effort, your brain starts to panic like, wait, I didn't get this right away. I must be an imposter. I'm not capable of doing this. But the truth is that struggle is not a sign you're failing, it's a sign that you're growing. And so, like when we go to the gym, right, we try to lift that weight and we struggle to get it off the floor. And that challenge means you're literally wiring new connections, you're building more strength. So, the struggle isn't the problem, the struggle is actually the point. Mistake number four is the solo superhero complex. That's the voice that says, I can do this by myself. I should be able to figure this out on my own. So let's retire that myth right now. Asking for help does not make you weak, it makes you human. The most successful people in the world, they don't go at it solo. They collaborate, they ask questions, they lean into their networks, they hire outside their superpowers. So your brain was never designed to know everything, but it was designed to connect. So that relief you feel when you get a little help, when you share your struggle, that's your nervous system saying, it's safe. I can relax now because I have what I need to make it to that next level. And that is not weakness, that is wisdom. Mistake number five is the expert imposter syndrome. Now, this one is huge. It's the I need to know more before I can act. So you wait and you collect certificates and you read more books and you sign up for another training and you still don't feel ready because here's the truth: you are never going to feel ready enough. Expertise doesn't come from preparing forever. It comes from doing. It comes from failing and falling and getting back up and trying again. So you don't need to know all of the steps. You just need to take the next one and the next one and the next one. Mistake number six is the story versus reality mix up. Now, this one might be the most damaging. So, you know, those moments when you're sure your boss thinks you're incompetent, or maybe your friend is mad at you, or you just know that everyone at the party thinks you're awkward. 99% of the time, you are making it up. Your brain is a wonderfully intelligent story making machine, so it fills in the gaps with assumptions and usually really unflattering ones. But here's your new superpower question: am I making this up, or is this actually happening? So, that thought about your colleague judging your presentation, story. The fear that you're like behind everyone else your age, that's a story. The belief that you're not qualified, yep, it's just another story. Reality is usually a lot kinder than the story you are telling yourself. So, how do we break free? Here's what the science says: mindfulness creates space between your thoughts and your reaction. So that's your superpower window. We want to use that window to reframe self doubt as a growth sign. Now, the bigger your goal, the louder doubt is going to be. And so we want to overcome that, and we want to overpower that voice of doubt by celebrating the small wins, these little micro victories that rewire your brain for confidence. And most importantly, we want to take action even in the doubt. Confidence isn't what you wait for, it's something that you build. So here's the truth: self doubt is not proof that you're just not cut out for your dreams. It's just your brain trying to keep you safe. But safety and growth, they don't usually live in the same space. And the people you admire, they feel doubt too. They just don't let it make their decisions for them. So the next time that voice whispers, like, who the hell do you think you are? I want you to smile and answer back, I'm someone who's learning, growing, and brave enough to try and try again. And that is exactly who I'm supposed to be. So, what if you stopped feeding the doubt? What if you let it point you towards your next level of growth? Imagine what becomes possible when you do. I'm Jazzie. I'm with Phoenix on Fire Healing Arts, and I will see you on the other side of self doubt.